let's reset here real quick. We are about to do the 69 list tournament, the 2021 list tournament. So that is the worst tweets for the year of 2021. If you remember what took place during the month, during the last time we did a tournament, that would have been, I want to say September of last year. It was a midway tournament. It was the worst tweet of 2021 so far. And we did every tweet from January to the end of June. And if you remember the results of that, LeBron James actually won that tournament by your vote. We did the vote on Twitter. He beat Adil Raja in the final. LeBron James was not ranked that high that time. And the reason for that is because his tweet it wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other ones, but because of his platform, he got elevated. So I think it was a fourth seed in the mid-year tournament. And that are going to be our number one overall seed. So I will just go ahead and bring your attention to that tweet first, and then we'll work our way from the bottom and go from there. So let's go ahead and show y'all this tweet right here. And I blocked it out, but LeBron James tweeted out, "You're next." Hashtag accountability. And he tweeted out a photo of the police officer who saved another woman from getting stabbed by shooting the person who was about to stab her. So that's your number one overall seed. I feel like we all have to recognize that. If you want to see the other number one seeds, I'll go ahead and show you those right now. The other one, our number two worst seed, the number two overall seed is the Carolyn Borisenko tweeting out, "Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust before they were ever born because they collective wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven." Our number three overall worst tweet of 2021 is Adil Raja tweeting out, "The world today needs a Hitler." And then the fourth worst tweet of the year is Vina Malik tweeting out, "I would have killed all the Jews of the world, but I kept some to show the world why I killed them." If that's a real or fake quote by Adolf Hitler, but there it is. Those are your number one seeds for the tournament. Let's go ahead and get down to the 69th worst tweet of the tournament, and we'll work our way back up. I mean, it wasn't like a big reveal, but you guys would get to see basically every single tweet that was involved here. So, New York Times opinion coming in at number 69. I don't know if everyone can see that. Let me try to zoom in just a little bit more.
Can they get the Mr. Irrelevant award? Is that what 69 is? The Mr. Nice award, I guess?
The Mr. Nice award? Yeah, it's the Mr. Nice award. But, I mean, they're doing a play-in, Spencer. That's why we have them. So, New York Times opinion tweets out, "As terrible as it is that 1 in 500 Americans have died of COVID, it's still much easier to have gone through the pandemic without having a close fit." I can't even read this. This is fucking stupid. All right. As terrible as it is that 1 in 500 Americans have died of COVID, it's still much easier to have gone through the pandemic without having a close friend or family member die of it than it would be if the toll were 1 in 50, says Ross Douthat. This is a fucking Captain Obvious tweet right here. I don't know. Who pitched this? Well, I know Ross Douthat pitched this, but which editor was like, "Yes, let's go with that. That is a beautiful, beautiful piece." And whichever editor said that needs to be fired. I don't know who it was, but they just need to be fired. Coming to number 68, we have Susan Shaw tweeting out, "I love my family. I miss my family. I will not be seeing them this Thanksgiving weekend. COVID-19 SK." Okay. "If you choose different, make sure all are fully vaxxed, 2 doses and 2 weeks after second dose. Keep the gathering small, be outdoors, don't share food, utensils, lock yourself down." 67, Thomas E. Ricks tweeting out, "In fact, my presumption is that anyone tweeting that American cities burned last summer is either working for the Russians or a dumbass dupe of them." That is in relation to the 2020 riots that happened after the death of George Floyd. 66, we have Gregory McKelvey tweeting out, employers considering... Forgot about this one. Employers, consider giving your black employees a day or two off after the Rittenhouse verdict. Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be hard for black people to work, and it isn't fair to expect them to. I would like to remind everyone that everyone involved in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, the 3 people that he shot and the 2 that he killed, all of them were white. I don't know why it is that we need to be focusing on black employees, but Gregory McKelvey certainly thought he needed to. Number 67, we have 65, we have Disney Plus. An unprecedented portrait of one of America's most vital public servants, Fauci, a documentary from Nat Geo, is streaming October 6th only on Disney Plus. And as a treat to all of you, we're going to watch this shit right now. Hold on, let's mute my music.
When I think about my dad growing up, I certainly think about that seriousness. But very few people get to see. He's funny, weird, and really playful.
God help us. In 1981, HIV/AIDS was evolving rapidly and frighteningly. There was anger at the government's response.
When you got sick, you were gone fast.
It's affecting you now.
Yeah.
Why?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
When COVID hit, he became this target.
My dad said, we're gonna get through this whole thing. And he's held that.
You don't do it because you want to make money. You don't do it for the glory. You do it because you care.
When you're involved in a race to stop a horrible disease, you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
Fucking A. I hate this. I hate this so much. I mean, look, I tried watching it as a prank to the Habibis, but there you go. Fauci at 65, Disney Plus. Brian Stelter at 64. I feel like you have to actually see this full tweet in order to really appreciate it. Brian Stelter tweeting out, network TV anchors were the closest thing that America had to national leaders on 9/11. They were the moral authority for the country on that first day, especially with political leaders in bunkers or otherwise out of sight. Yes. On the 20th anniversary of 9/11, we really needed to just think about the journalists. Thank you for that, Brian Stelter. Number 63, AOC tweeting out, the medium is the message. And again, this is another one of those tweets we have to really take in because there are 2 images. Of course, she wears a tax the rich dress to the Met Gala, made by... Let's just get to the second message, shall we? The medium is the message. Proud to work with Aurora James as a sustainably focused Black woman immigrant designer who went from starting her dream, Brother Valleys, at a flea market in Brooklyn to winning the CFDA against all odds, and then worked together to kick open the door at the Met. The time is now for childcare, healthcare, and climate action for all. Tax the rich. Aurora James is from fucking Toronto, Canada. As Lord Peter says, a $35,000 dress. She ain't doing shit. She is literally virtue signaling a virtue signal. That's your 63rd worst tweet of 2021. Coming number 62, Washington Post tweets out, parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't, write edu historian and Bizfer Berkshire in Post Outlook. 61, we have Randy Bryce. Let's just pull this up so you guys can see it. This is a deleted tweet. Randy Bryce tweets out, apparently this vehicle fired a rifle into the crowd and proceeded to mow people down at Waukesha Holiday Parade. Why not claim self-defense? This is obviously the Waukesha massacre. And there are actually a few libs who actually had somewhat of a red pill moment. I remember Deborah Messing tweeting out specifically, why are we not even calling it the Waukesha massacre? That's what it was. And we're like, wow. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for actually using your brain here. because all of these dumbass libs like Randy Bryson being like, why don't we just say claim self-defense? Which is 61st worst tweet. 60, Naveed Jamali, who has also blocked me, tweets out, the history of the pro-life movement started with the legal decision that stripped private segregated schools of tax exemption. The pro-life movement has always been about white supremacy. Oh, God. This guy's a fucking idiot. Rebecca Carroll tweets out, this is the Amy Coney Barrett tweet that made, that actually didn't even win its category for the worst liberal take in December 2021. But it made the bracket. So Amy Coney Barrett, Rebecca Carroll tweets out, Amy Coney Barrett in her stance here alone has already damaged the psyches of her black adopted children. Has already made them feel like their origin stories were transactional, that she saved them from heartless black vessel. What the fuck? Johan Velterop coming in at number 58. This is in response to the Alec Baldwin shooting. Alec Baldwin kills woman by firing prop gun on the film set of Rust. Johan tweets out, might the prop gun have been secretly loaded with real bullets by a Trump supporter to punish Alec Baldwin for his Trump parodies? Should be a line of inquiry. No, you dumb fucking idiot. Where all of them are fucking like Alex Jones of the left. Even now, Alex Jones is like, that's a little bit too much for me, buddy. Robert Evans, coming in at number 57, tweets out, borders are systems of violence. The U.S.-Mexico border is among the most innovative and bloody of these. Auschwitz learned from El Paso. Not really true. While there are policies that Hitler tried to replicate in the Third Reich, taken from the United States, immigration, not really one of them. Caitlin John Stone at number 56 tweets out, because U.S. wars have killed millions of people since 9/11, while China is not doing anything anywhere close to that bad, the U.S. is worse than China. This means China is therefore better than America. This indisputable fact may be expressed with the mathematical formula China greater than U.S. I thought she was American. I think she's Australian, which pretty funny considering what Australia's going through. Number 55, Richard Hanania. Richard Hanania. He said, you can't screen for Down syndrome before about 10 weeks, and something like 80% of Down syndrome fetuses are aborted. If red states ban abortion, we could see a world where they have 5 times as many children with Down syndrome and similar numbers for other disabilities. I hope you all know that basically this guy's advocating. Look, it's a pretty fucking ghoulish thing to say that the reason to keep abortion on the table is to eliminate genetic imperfections or chromosomal defects. Then we get into the territory of fucking eugenics. Next up, we have Candace Owens tweeting out, we've reached next level when the Taliban is hitting at the totalitarianism of the U.S. And yes, they're telling the truth here. Big tech in collusion with the Democrats have destroyed the elements that gave America the moral high ground in discussions about freedom worldwide. She's referencing or responding to this tweet by Liam McCullum, who tweets out, the Taliban spokesman got a question about freedom of speech, and he said the question should be asked to U.S. companies like Facebook, who claim to promote it while still censoring. Quite a take right there, Candace. Taking the side of fucking Taliban. Number 53, Washington Post. Tweets out, opinion. Don't rant about short-staffed stores and supply chain woes. Try to lower expectations. Yikes. Frostbite says, interesting fact about Hitler, he loved U.S. Westerns. Therefore, all U.S. Westerns. You know who else liked U.S. Westerns? Hitler. Number 52, we have Max Boot tweeting out words I never thought I'd write. Saudi Arabia is being more progressive than America. Saudis will need to show proof of vax to enter schools, shops, malls, restaurants, concerts, public transport. If by fucking progressive you mean dictatorial and totalitarian, yes, that's progressive. God, it's like they want to make progressive sound as fucking awful as possible. Number 51, that we have Matt Gaetz tweeting out, Taliban and Trump should both be on Twitter. More legitimate than the last government in Afghanistan or the current government here. Quite a bold take there, Matt Gaetz. The low water myself. Again, taking side of the Taliban is not the own you think it is. Gates. Ian Millhouse, tweeting out, I think the most disturbing thing we've learned this year is that swing voters care much more about the price of gas than they do about whether fascism should be stopped. God, fucking hyperbole from these guys. Stella Parton, who is the dumber sibling of Dolly Parton, tweets out, don't you find it odd that women in America are being treated worse than women in Afghanistan? We wasted $2 trillion plus to go into Afghanistan to liberate their women and children. Something ain't right here, folks. Are you catching on yet? Number 48, Scott Wiener. Tweeting out, as we commemorate the 20th anniversary of 9/11 and the horror that it brought, let's recommit to fighting all forms of terrorism, including the greatest threat we face, white nationalist domestic terrorism. Yes, this is the fight terrorism equivalent of all terrorism matters, or all lives matter. It's the all lives matter approach to fighting and combating terrorism. 47, we got Flora Gill. This is really something here. Let's just read this and really take it in here. Someone needs to create porn for children. Hear me out. Young teens are already watching porn, but they're finding hardcore aggressive videos that give a terrible view of sex. They need entry-level porn, a softcore site where everyone asks for consent and no one gets choked, etc. How is this even allowed to be tweeted? How did any... Why? What the fuck? There you go. There's 47. Now 46. BBC Women's Hour. Trust me, folks, it gets worse from here. BBC Women's Hour tweets out, what's the best way to inform teenagers about porn? Should there be age-appropriate porn, as has been suggested, so they can learn about consent and what's respectful and what's not? What do you think? Email us your opinions. ZD Willie says, hippity-hoppity to the chippity-choppity. That's pretty good. 45. We're getting there, guys. It doesn't stop. The porn tweets do not stop. New York Times tweets out, pornography literacy classes are supposed to teach students how to critically assess what they see on the screen. But when a sex-positive educator taught her curriculum at 2 elite New York City schools recently, some parents were outraged. Gee, I wonder why. 44, Tristan Snell tweets out, let's go, Brandon has become the MAGA version of Sieg Heil. Ashley Fairbanks, you gotta see this in full. This is just... Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber. I realized I didn't know who Kyle Rittenhouse had murdered, but here they are. One was bipolar, the other was trying to protect people from the shooter. It could have been any of us. No, it fucking couldn't have been. Unless you committed domestic violence or were convicted of child sexual abuse, it couldn't have been you. Oh man, it gets even better. It doesn't matter what kind of character assassination the defense or right-wing media did. It should be horrifying that we live in a country where it's increasingly illegal to protest and increasingly illegal to murder protesters. They weren't fucking protesters, okay? They're literally there to burn shit down. Part of my radical leftist idea that we shouldn't murder unarmed people in the street, I truly fucking hate this woman. Might be the dumbest person on this website. And they're only at 43. 42, we have Mark Ruffalo. Tweeting out, we come together to mourn the lives lost to the same racist system that devalues black lives and devalued the lives of Anthony and JoJo. Hashtag reimagine Kenosha. I don't care if this guy was the fucking Hulk. His politics absolutely suck ass. Jesus Christ. 41, Annie Linsky. In a now deleted tweet because she got absolutely roasted for this shit. Biden goes to church and walks through a graveyard in Wilmington as his legislative agenda is dying in Washington. The graveyard was to visit. Biden was visiting his son. Prospect says Joseph Rosenbaum died as he lived, trying to touch an unwilling minor. Wow. That is a take. Spicy. Number 40. Nell Scavell. This is the Kentucky tweet. Nell Scavell. I'm going to see it one more time. Sorry, Kentucky. Maybe if your 2 senators hadn't spent decades blocking legislation to reduce climate change, you wouldn't be suffering from climate disasters. If it's any consolation, McConnell and Rand have effed over all of us too. Now we get into the top 40 here. Jason Wynn. Jason Wynn. If you remember this particular segment of reporting, just chef's kiss. Jason Wynn tweets out Utah paramedic donated to the defense fund of Kyle Rittenhouse. It was first reported in The Guardian this morning. Rittenhouse is accused of killing 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I tried to get the paramedic side of things. See the story tonight at 10 p.m. on ABC 4 Utah. Pretty fucking awful. And honestly, he took a lot that paramedic took a lot of shit for actually doing what's right, proving a lot of people wrong. Arnie Duncan coming in at number 38, tweeting out, have you noticed how strikingly similar both the mindsets and actions are between the suicide bombers at Kabul's airport and the anti-mask and anti-vax people here? They both blow themselves up, inflict harm on those around them, and are convinced they are fighting for freedom. Wait, what? I completely forgot about how awful this take was. Jesus Christ. Arnie Duncan, this is a former education secretary we're talking here. Number 37, President Biden. We finally get President Biden on the list. This is President Biden tweets out, we're going to protect the unvaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers. Let's just watch this shit.
I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. Some of the biggest companies are already requiring this. United Airlines, Disney, Tyson's Food, and even Fox News. The bottom line,
unconstitutional.
We're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers. My job as president is to protect.
Okay, here we go. That was just replaying. That's number 37 for President Biden. Coming in at number 36, got Mrs. Betty Bowers tweeting out what happened to Ashley Babbitt was so unfair. She was given special treatment when so many of her fellow domestic terrorists deserved the same fate. Yikes. That account is trash. Oh, another account that's trash. Matthew Dowd. Oh man. I remember he deleted and then blocked me because of this exchange. Just get ready for it. Get ready for it. I'll have the full thing right here. I saw this picture in the news today. I didn't read the story. Was this picture one of Trump's impeachment defense team presentations? All right, that was the initial tweet. I respond saying, 6 people literally died, Matthew. And I put them on the list. How many people died at the U.S. Capitol? Responded Matthew Dowd. And then he blocked me. And then, oh, this is great because I forgot about this. I tweeted out, and to be honest, I'm surprised Matthew Dowd didn't block me when this happened this year. This was, 2020? Okay. We take on the journey almost a year in the making. Biggest takeaway from Justin Amash's thread is that it sounds like he's running for president. How else do you build name recognition that quickly outside of being the first sitting Republican congressman to call for President Trump to be impeached? Okay, I said this on CNN, okay? I said this on CNN in 2019 of all places. You see the May 18th, 2019. All right, so this is what I said back in May 2019. Siraj, biggest takeaway from Justin Amash's thread is that it sounds like he's running for president. How else do you build name recognition that quickly outside of being the first sitting Republican congressman to call for President Trump to be impeached? That was my first tweet. Matthew Dowd replies to me saying, seriously, before we think here anyone's first inclination to do something is political, why don't we make assumption he is taking this stand out of principle? April 28th, 2020, almost a year later, Justin Amash for America, Justin Amash tweets out, let's do this. And then I quote tweet him, hey, Matt, with the tweet from fucking Justin Amash. That was by far one of my favorite moments to troll because I remembered that shit. And George Conway liking that Matthew Dowd tweet. God, that was so funny. Oh, this is so great. He even responded to me for this. Says, Lord have mercy. Don't many people run for office out of principled stands? The fucking cope. I completely forgot about that. God, that was so fucking funny. Wow, that was a long journey. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Number 34, Ramsey Paul tweeting out the farmers, pioneers, miners, ranchers, businessmen, doctors, lawyers, engineers that built America were all white. Blacks picked cotton in a battle to end slavery. 600,000 whites died. If anything, you owe reparations. God damn it. I fucking hate this tweet. Ross Gerber tweeting out, I don't even know who this was in response to. But Ross Gerber tweeted out, in fact, my stepmom knows his wife. She isn't so bad. He's a commie doing commie things. We had evil Trump. Ah, yes. Trump was by far way worse than communist President Xi Jinping. Fucking A. NBC Chicago tweets out at number 32, Travis Scott concerts, fun-filled, high energy, but chaotic. What were the numbers on that? Didn't somewhere like a dozen people died from a stampede? How many people died from a stampede? How many people died? Oh yeah, 8 people. 8 people died. Stampede. Thank you for that, NBC Chicago. You fucking idiots. Oh my god. All right, top 32. We're getting to the top 32. Palmer Report tweets out this attempt by here we go. This attempt by unvaccinated Southwest airline employees at crippling U.S. air travel is the latest reminder that it's a very short distance from anti-vaxxer to domestic terrorists. Yes, everyone is a fucking domestic terrorist now, especially those people who don't take the vaccine. Number 30, we have Andrew Cuomo tweeting out, this was politics every step of the way, in response to ousting Cuomo disenfranchised New York voters. Fuck you, Andrew. 29, we have Brian Seltzer tweeting out, how refreshing, in response to Jen Psaki. Look at that. Psaki promises to share accurate info. How refreshing. Fuck these people so hard. 28, Keith Olbermann. This is a tweet that was in contention for worst tweet of December 2021. Barstool Sports tweets out, a high school football player rushed a school shooter and sacrificed his own life to save his classmates. Keith Olbermann tweets out, this kid died to stop school shooter whose mother echoed the Trump fascism of Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports. It's cracking again, says Dan Wants Pizza. Chris Vickery at number 27 tweets out, set a date now. After that date, no hospital services for the willingly unvaccinated. Number 26, Rex Chapman. The Tennessee Holler tweets out, it seems Moms for Liberty has lost one of their own to COVID. Rex Chapman tweets out, unmasked, unmuzzled, unalive. Thanks for that, Rex Chapman. Tom Lakis, who is no stranger to the list, tweets this out, and he didn't delete it, surprisingly. Yashar Ali Yabibi tweets out, 7 people are dead after a shooting at a birthday party where friends, family, and children gathered to celebrate early Sunday morning. Tom Lakis tweets out, Colorado Springs voted for Trump. Enjoy. Thoughts and prayers. Womp womp. These are the type of people that they're the top 25 right here. Okay. The Root at 24 tweets out, whiteness is the pandemic. In response to the Atlanta shooting rampage that happened in March, whiteness is a pandemic. 23, we have Todd Starnes tweeting out, for every American who is killed, a city in Afghanistan should be wiped off the face of the earth. 22, Cleavon MD tweets out, Naples, Florida, let them die. I'm so tired of these people. No vaccines for y'all. That's not too far away from me now. And Florida's fucking great. Number 21, we have Bad Sandwich tweeting out, and this is in reference to the Kyle Rittenhouse, okay? That kid can probably be killed. I mean, I'm not suggesting it by any means, but I wager he could be easily tortured and killed. The judge, too. Fucking wow. Number 20, we have Margaret Kimberly tweeting out, remember that time China imprisoned the Uyghur for 38 years for a $9 robbery? Me neither. Number 19, Bloomberg tweets out, Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial is set to be one of the biggest of the Me Too era, but the jury may have to grapple with a unique question. Is Maxwell herself a victim? I'd like to be shot, please. I always think of that meme, the pastor tweeting out Jesus, the what you did for the dinosaurs, the meteor. I want that for me. Oh my God! Hello, sir.
What is up, sirs?
What is going on, sir? How are you, sir?
How are we doing, Habibis?
I am doing much good, sir. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, boss.
Alhamdulillah. Welcome. We are literally in the top 20.
Top 20? Look at that. I missed 69, didn't I?
You missed 69, yeah.
Was that the very first one? 69 should be the last.
Basically, yeah. That was basically the very first one. I go 69 to 1.
You should go. You should go 68 to 1, and then the special 69, which is the true number 1 is 69. So 68 to 1, and then the true number 1 is 69.
Yeah, we should. So how you doing? How's your evening?
Fantastic. I love this background, by the way. Fucking
thank you. I designed it myself.
Very good. I'm just having a post-workout drink right now.
So how was that workout?
It was good. Very good. Dan's mom likes to grind on your ass in a way that really works out, your back muscles when you're sticking your tongue out. It's really insane.
Okay, do you want to do the top 20 with me? Well, we can start off with, we can go back to 20 and I'll move up.
Let's
only
do it.
Did 20 and 19. All right, so top 20 here. So number 20, Margaret Kimberly tweets out, remember that time China imprisoned a Uyghur for 38 years for a $9 robbery? Me neither. Which is honestly very timely that this comes up now, because this guy Chamath, this part owner of the Golden State Warriors, is getting on a podcast saying no one cares about the Uyghurs.
That's basically what he said. And then he was like, and he came up with his stupid apology talking about how it's a very nuanced discussion, and we don't like seeing it anywhere from China, the United States, or anywhere else. And it's like, why are you bringing the United States in here? Why? You stupid motherfucker. You are a refugee. If it wasn't for the United States of America, you would be nothing. You would be absolutely dog shit. And what's going on and what's happening with the Uyghurs, he experienced it. He saw it firsthand happening.
I'm just pulling up the apology he had here. This apology note, he said on Twitter, important issues deserve nuanced discussions, some clarifying comments. And in the tweet, let me see if I can pull it up here. Chamath. I read in Desi accent, sir. Chamath. It is
math.
We read it here in the accent, sir, that he wanted to be read.
Yallah, habibi.
In re-listening to this week's podcast, I recognize that I come across as lacking empathy. I acknowledge that entirely. As a refugee, my family fled a country with its own set of human rights issues. So this is something that is very much a part of my lived experience. To be clear, my belief is that human rights matter, whether in China, the United States, or elsewhere. Full stop it.
And he couldn't even mention the Uyghurs.
Can't mention the Uyghurs.
He couldn't mention them by name. And what was funny is the Warriors, mm-hmm. they issued a tweet saying that the views of Chamath is not, we don't, there it is, PR, underneath it.
Oh, it's the PR?
The PR. Do not represent us. He is just an investor. He has no decision making or anything like that. So his views are not part of, like, it doesn't reflect
I read again, organization. Warrior's statement regarding Chamath Palihapitiya as a
I'm not even going to try.
Oh, sir, stop. You shut the hell up your mouth. As limited investor who has no day-to-day operating functions with the Warriors, Mr. Palihapitiya does not speak on behalf of our franchise, and his views certainly don't reflect those of our organization, sir.
So I quote tweeted and asked him, so what are your views on the Uyghurs? That's what needs to be asked by these people. Like you have a blue check, so you should ask that question to them.
Yeah, I'll get on
They'll
that.
actually see
But
it.
also, Jay, interestingly enough, maybe they have to wait for fucking Steve. Oh, what's his name? Steve Kerr's brother-in-law, who's the Asian studies professor, to get their opinion on what their views on the Uyghurs should be.
It's just
Probably.
fascinating. It's so fascinating because you see these people, these people who live comfortably in the United States because of the opportunities the United States have given them, because of freedom and being able to do and be whatever you want, will come here, shit on the United States while sucking the dick of China. And this guy is no different. He's no different. Elon Musk is no different. The whole organization of the NBA is no different, except for one person in the NBA.
And it's cancer freedom.
Hell yeah! I don't see anybody else who is protesting as much as he is. Nobody in the NBA, right?
Pretty amazing. We got to get him on the BB Power. That'd be lit.
We do.
Anyways, at number 19, we got Bloomberg tweeting out Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial is set to be one of the biggest of the Me Too era, but the jury may have to grapple with a unique question: is Maxwell herself a victim? As we obviously can tell by the verdict, she is not. And I don't know why Bloomberg would tweet this shit out, but they seem to have done that.
Right.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with the sentencing, and there's a lot of other shit up in the air with respect to the trial. Stance grounded coming in at number 18, tweeting out they are the same, and that is the Nazi flag and the Israeli flag.
The guy didn't even do the meme right. At least do the office meme right, with Pam holding two pictures from corporate and saying at least do that right. And it's funny, they say they're the same, and only one place I know of flies it pretty freely, and that's Palestine.
Number 17, we have Bree Newsom. This is arguably one of my favorite tweets of 2021, and just how fucking incredible it is. This is let me just read it. Teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives, for eons. We do not need police to address these situations by showing up to the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers. Y'all need help. I mean that sincerely. I'm trying to remember the exact context of who. I mean, we put her on the list. I'm trying to remember though, who was the particular individual who was shot and killed.
You don't remember what happened here?
No, I remember. I'm trying to remember names.
Oh, the names. Oh, fuck. I forget her name. The one that was shot?
Yeah, they tried to make her into like the next George Floyd or something like that. But this is literally the image.
Before she got shot.
She is literally about to stab the other teenager. And this is a view from the police officer's body cam. Makia Bryant. Thank you, Damon.
Yes, Damon got it.
Makia Bryant. Yeah, so they tried to make her into the next martyr. And I mean, that led to our number one seed, which you'll see in a few, Jay, because I showed the Habibis earlier. But this is literally a genuine, sincere response from Bree Newsom. And I remember we parodied the shit out of this.
Yes.
And made fun of it.
I think
I still can't believe she didn't delete it.
I think Branson Taylor made fun of it.
May he R.I.P. in peace. He probably got shot by that same police officer, too.
Yeah, I think so.
Number 16, we have the Federalist tweeting out the 9/11 attacks ultimately proved a lesser threat to America than the totalitarian left.
Hold on. I have a question for the Habibis. Was Siraj's internet connection this laggy throughout the whole stream, or is it just happening now? Oh shit. So it's not because I came in here and started using some of his like bandwidth or something.
No,
Okay, gotcha.
it literally is that bad.
Okay. Am I coming in clear and everything, Crystal?
I think you're fine.
Oh man, I just fucking love how it was. Everybody was just like, yes, yep, yes.
You're clear as a bell. Yeah, Jay, you're
no.
not drunk yet. Crystal is meth.
Hell yeah. I just love how it just changed. James Sarge just snap, crackle, pop.
Oh my god. How is it
Shit.
possible I'm still like dealing with the fucking awful internet?
I don't understand. Is Florida a part of Pakistan? Like, what's happening here?
Probably.
After
I need to get- I need to
9/11,
get
the
a
only you should wear a T-shirt that says "After 9/11, the only thing my uncle left me was the shitty internet."
Oh my god. Okay, can I read this tweet again?
Yeah,
16,
go for
the
it.
Federalist. The 9/11 attacks ultimately proved a lesser threat to America than the totalitarian left. Probably one of the higher ranked right-wing tweets that made the list tournament, Jay.
Right, I think it really is, and it's really funny that it comes from like the Federalist or from someone on the right, because they lose their shit every time 9/11 is compared to anything at all.
Right.
They've been losing
Right.
their shit every time 9/11 is compared to January 6th, and rightfully so. And for them to just completely lose that argument by also comparing 9/11 to the left or their political opponents is just a complete fucking failure. And it's not like this wasn't a parody. This because they doesn't the Federalist do some parody from time to time, or is that only the Free Beacon?
No, I think that's Babylon B. I don't think Federalist does parody.
No, Free Beacon.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah,
as well.
Free
Right?
Beacon, yes.
I've been calling them the Free Bacon for like as long as possible until I actually just stopped and actually read what their name actually is.
Jay, I really wish we had asked what's his name, John Andrasik about this particular tweet. Now that I'm remembering it, maybe you get him on the next time you get him on. I'll ask him about it, because this is like one of those things where, do you really think? I mean, like, his song was used, Superman was used as sort of a anthem for the 9/11 heroes, and I asked him specifically about the comparison that Vice President Kamala Harris and many people on the left have used between 9/11 to January 6th, and even Pearl Harbor to January 6th, and he was just like, yeah, if I say anything, I might get in trouble, so I'm just gonna say it's insulting to the families of those who lost loved ones. And I'd like to get his take on this, since he says he's relatively kind of a centrist, even though he says he probably leans right more nowadays than not.
I think a lot of people
get his take on this.
Right. I mean, there was a poll that was done showcasing like why Republicans are at like a +5 in the polling. And it's mainly because a lot of like there's Dems are -3, Indies are like +4. Like there's a lot of people shifting from being on the left back down to being on the in the center.
Yeah.
It just
Let's get to the top 15 here. Pam Keith. Let's see if
she hasn't deleted.
Well, of course it's deleted or blocked. I'm sorry, blocked. For all. Pam Keith tweets out on January 6, 2021, 9/11/2001 ceased being the worst thing that happened to America in my lifetime. It's really weird and painful to process and say that, but it's the truth, and quite frankly, it's not even close. Man. Number 14, Brooklyn Dad Defiant, aka Damon Toll. Damon Toll tweets out, I'm kidding. Brooklyn Dad Defiant tweets out, Republicans say we shouldn't be impeaching and convicting Trump because he's not in office anymore. But we chased bin Laden for years.
Oh my God.
And invaded a country that wasn't even involved in 9/11. January 6th was worse. Hold him accountable. Do we have any more? Oh, more January 6th takes. Lindy Lee, or is it Lindy Lee? I think it's Lindy.
Lindy Lee. Is she single? It's not because she's Asian. I don't. Is she?
I don't know, Jay. Doesn't say she's married, so maybe you can still hit her up. Lindy Lee tweets out, domestic terrorist Ashley Babbitt died because she believed Trump's deranged lies. Trump made a martyr out of her because she died in his failed coup. Just as Hitler glorified those who died in his failed beer hall coup. Different demon, same recruiting tactic for the next coup.
The next coup. Never mind, she's vegan. The worst asses to eat are vegans. They have no flavor.
So yeah, so those are your January 6th takes. Your January 6th takes. Michael Brendan Doherty coming in at number 12. The take that really you have to ask Jay is, this is so out of context, I have no idea what he's trying to say, but he's in a reply, tweets out, I'm sure you hold your view in good faith, but that's why I also have the good faith view that I'd rather my children be raised by Jesuits than educated by them. Less damage, I think. I don't care what context is being used there. Holy shit, Jay.
What? We need to check the flight transcripts. I think this guy's been on an island or two.
Yeah.
What the fucking shit? Holy shit.
All right, Mark Judson coming in at number 11. Almost at the top 10. Jay, almost at the top 10.
In there.
Mark Judson, who is no stranger to the list, I'm already blocked, of course. He tweets out, you can't fully compare Trump to Hitler. Hitler wasn't too much of a coward to serve in the army. Hitler did fix the German economy, at least in the short run. Imagine how much of a dirty piece of shit a person Trump has to be to pale in comparison to Hitler. Jay?
Didn't Trump like...
Think of all the good things Hitler did, right?
All the good things, like walk his dog. Be a vegetarian.
Look, he actually has a breakdown. Look at this breakdown. Adolf Hitler used racism to power. Donald Trump uses racism to rise to power. Proposed mass deportations. Proposed to make Germany great again. Promises to make America great again. Anti-Jew fascist. Anti-Muslim fascist. Blames Jews for Germany's problems. Blames immigrants for America's problems. You can't make this shit up, Jay.
Didn't Donald Trump wasn't the economy under Donald Trump like really booming?
Doesn't matter, Jay.
No, he's saying that at least Adolf Hitler had a booming economy for Germany.
I know, it's actually kind of funny. Lockjaw says Trump can't even grow that mustache. I know that
exactly
brings
right.
up a great point.
Exactly right. Should we do Hitler mustaches for the losers of the next Habibi fantasy?
Yeah, I feel like
I'm joking.
We would all lose our jobs and all get canceled.
Well, luckily you don't have one, so.
Luckily I don't have a job, but I'll never get a job for sure. All right, Jen M. Jackson coming in at number 10, tweeting out, it's 20 years since 9/11, and I'm still really disturbed by how many white pundits and correspondents talk about it. That's just the first of many tweets. It gets worse.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Which is the worst one here? Okay, this is the worst one here. It's this top one. We have to be more honest about what 9/11 was and what it wasn't. It was an attack on the heteropatriarchal capitalistic systems that America relies upon to wrangle other countries into passivity. It was an attack on the systems many white Americans fight to protect. Only number 10, Jay.
Oh, my God.
Fucking A. Oh, this gets really, really awful really quickly. Pete Dominic coming in at number 9. Who's that? Someone explain to me what is wrong with a child twerking. I still do not understand. What is the concern? That's the first of many horrible ones. Let's keep going.
Yeah, he was trying to defend the Netflix series, the Netflix movie,
Cuties, right?
Cuties. That's what he was doing.
Cuties. There's nothing about female bodies moving around that is inherently sexual, and anyone who sees a child twerking and says it's sexual is putting that meaning on her. She's not putting it on herself. Again, this is someone who's supposed to be a stand-up comedian. Sippy McIncel replies, "You must really like kids in the illegal way, huh?" And then Pete Dominic replies, "What is wrong with a child twerking? Explain what your concern for her is." And then he responds to another tweet that says, "Right-wing lunatics are losing their mind over a toddler dancing. They think the adults who encourage this should be arrested. I think this kid is great and see no issue with it at all. You?"
Oh my God.
That's your number 9.
It's
Number
so
8.
weird. It's so bad. And to the point of him is that they were on this huge issue about beauty pageants and how it was sexualizing girls. But then when it comes to an issue like this, they're totally fine. Or, cross-dressing boys or putting cross-dressed boys in the front of gay parades and all that kind of stuff. They're totally okay with. It's just so weird how twisted it's become. Like how flipped they become on this issue.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's just like, it almost means like progressive is the definition for deranged.
It is.
I don't know. Basically, essentially. All right, coming in at number 8, we have Arthur Chu. Tweeting out, "Ashley Babbitt feeding the worms is one of the few good things that happened as a result of the Capitol protest. And if you feel the need to mourn her Nazi ass, it'll be easier for both of us if you unfollow me now." This is a Jeopardy nerd, Jay.
I know. What else has he done? Like, what else has he contributed to life?
This tweet, I guess, to the list. I'm making money off of him. So, there's that. Coming in number 7 is also Arthur Chu. Holy shit, Jay. Back to back. 7, 8. This guy's 100% serious, too.
Essentially.
Coffee breath conversations. Essentially 100% serious. Arthur Chu tweets out, again, this is number 7. "It really fucks me up to say this, but I'm lying awake thinking the best case scenario for this country is one day we wake up and find ourselves under Chinese military occupation." Again, Jay, another fucking CCCP simp and fucking
dumb as shit. Also, I believe
Jeopardy nerd with no brain cells.
He's a pedo. He is. I mean, anyone who unironically uses pronouns, I automatically suspect they're pedos.
Number 6, we got Tarek Nasheed, a White Holiday Express. Let's just show you the whole video so you guys.
Oh my God, this was so bad. Oh my God,
I felt too. A White Holiday Inn Express worker has a nervous breakdown after he got scolded by a black customer because of a mistake in the reservation system. I don't need to show you the whole video. You can see that he actually has a meltdown, and it is pretty bad. It's tough to watch because this guy isn't doing anything to the customer. He's hitting himself. It's so bad. Watch. So Tarek Nasheed felt the need to fucking put that up there. Coming in number 5, we have the Chinese embassy in the U.S. This is like one of the worst takes of January. And it was tweeted out like almost immediately, I think in the first week of, January 7th. Look at that. Studies show that in the process of eradicating extremism, the minds of Uyghur women in Xinjiang were emancipated and gender equality and reproductive health were promoted, making them no longer baby-making machines. They are more confident and independent.
Oh my God. And it's funny. You know what's really funny about this? This is the same type of argument blue-haired libs use with making abortion come as whenever they want it, they can have it, and they try to pretend that having kids make women useless. But to be fair, with or without kids, they're useless. So I don't understand.
Okay, moving on. Number 4. This is our first number 1 seed. It's Vina Malik tweeting out, "I would have killed all the Jews of the world, but I kept some to show the world why I killed them." A fake quote by Adolf Hitler. And again, you know, Jay, with this this synagogue, this hostage situation in Texas happening, and it's like a Pakistani British Muslim. Nobody wants to talk about the person's nationality or faith. Why is it always Pakistanis that are just like the fucking worst? And I could say this as a Pakistani.
And I could say this as a Lebanese person too. You're 100% right.
Oh my God. Lajen says abortion easier to get than upload speed. Oh my God. Insane.
So good.
And number 3, this is our second number 1 seed, Adil Raja, who used to be a CNN contributor or some shit like that, a CNN reporter or writer, tweeting out, "The world today needs a Hitler." This was a finalist too, Jay. This is the one who went up against the number 1 seed, and you'll see in just a moment the champion of the previous bracket. At number 2, we have Carolyn Moore Psycho, and a now deleted tweet saying, "Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust before they were ever born because the collective wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven."
What?
Oh my God. And then our number 1 seed, overall seed, is LeBron James tweeting out, "Your next #accountability." And it is a photo of the police officer who shot Ma'Khia Bryant, saving the person that she was intending to stab. LeBron James won the list tournament, the mid-year list tournament last year, and a lot of it was due to his platform, the fact that he had so many he had so many followers, and he tweeted that out. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, at this point, it is better to not tweet anything than to do what he did.
For sure. Absolutely. Especially because we all know exactly what happened there. Like, everyone saw it with their own eyes, how that cop saved that other person's life. And any other cop, any other person in that situation would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Would do exactly the same thing, especially if you're right then and there. You have no time to do anything because she's right there ready to stab her. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Jesus, fuck. These people are just fucking insane in their heads. I swear to God, they have this idea of what they are in this world, and they play it even though they're completely full of shit.
Yeah.
Just like LeBron fucking James, you piece of shit. King James, you're in LA? Bitch, where are you? I'm here in California. We'll go. You and me debated.
So there you have it. There is the list tournament. Those are your 69 worst tweets of the year.
Nice.
I just have to highlight one other thing, and that is, before I let anyone go ahead and before we run any of the tournament, like any of the competition, I want you all, I will go ahead and drop this in the chat. If you go to, what's it called? I think I have this already up on Substack, and I just haven't posted it within the chats on YouTube and Rumble. But you can go ahead and I'm going to add it right now, and you can go ahead and fill out your own bracket print it off, take a photo, post it on Twitter, leave the hashtag. What is it, Jay? What should we make the hashtag? List tournament?
Yeah, hashtag
2021 list tournament. Let's do the hashtag 2021 list tournament. Tourney challenge. You want to do? Let's do the 2021 list tourney challenge. Use that hashtag. We get it all together. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Everybody comparing their own.
And the losers have to fly a plane to. No.
Oh my god!
I mean,
well,
hell,
what you
if
could do,
Abdullah-
you could also do this. You can also probably join. Have I shared it yet? I don't know if I shared it. There we go. Now I can share it again. I'm gonna share it in the chat. Lord Peter says loser has to kiss LeBron. I'll be posting this on Twitter either way. But if you want, you guys go ahead and check it out. Jay, I want to thank you again for joining me on this. You didn't have to.
Absolutely, Habibi. Absolutely. I'm
And
here for you, baby.
thank you all for your support. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subbing. Thank you so much for joining me on the list stream. It was a real marathon tonight, but I think we got a lot done. I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jack Kobe.
We are the Habibi Bros. Don't forget to hit up the Habibi Discord server. And what else? If you want to support us, check us out on patreon.com/Habibi Bros. We are actually putting out more of our interviews for free. But if you want any bonus content, that's stuff we do after our interviews. And a lot of it is doing that, right, Jay? Yeah? All of that. All right, Habibis, thank you so much for joining us.
Also on Patreon, you get to watch those episodes live.
That's true too. If you subscribe to our Patreon, you get to watch those live. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out.
You're very welcome, sir.
Okay, Habibis. Have a good night. See you. Thanks for watching. Okay,
bye
see you.
bye.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you.
Okay, see you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you.